26.
Starting with 26. Start off with Jai Bhagavatam. Yeah, ready with the verse.
What is the bit?
So,
Okay.
there.
There. Okay.
And the switch.
And then the verse. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Grivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Grivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanakari Tira Vanakari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jai Hare Krishna. I'm going to continue with the Srimad-bhagavatam from the text 26 beyond, and we will finish actually the chapter 21 of Canto 9. All these verses actually are describing the descendants of Bharata, So it's just like a listing of the descendants. And we are going to stop in the last verse, which is the 35, to repeat with you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, since they are like 10 verses, I'm going just to read the translation, and the last verse, we are going to repeat the whole verse in Sanskrit and word by word. Text 26, translation. Following the instructions of the great sage Jaikisavya, Vivakshena compiled an elaborate description of the mystic yoga system. From Vishvaksena, Udaksena was born, and from Udaksena, Balata. All these sons are known as descendants of Brihadishu. Text 27, translation. The son of Duinida was Yavinara, whose son was Kritiman. The son of Kritiman was well known as Satyadriti. From Satyadriti came a son named Dhritatnemi, who became the father of Suparsva. Text 28-29. Translation. From Suparsva came a son named Sumati. From Sumati came Sanatiman, and from Sanatiman came Kriti, who achieved mystic power from Brahma and taught 6 Sanhitas of the Prachasana verses of the Samaveda. The son of Kriti was Nipa, the son of Nipa, Udgradyuda, the son of Udgradyuda, Senya, the son of Semya, Suvira, and the son of Suvira, Ripunjaya. From Ripunjaya came a son named Bahurata. Purumida was sonless. Ajamida had a son named Nila, by his wife known as Nalini, and the son of Nila was Shanti. Verse 31-33, translation. The son of Santi was Susanti, the son of Susanti was Puruja, and the son of Puruja was Arka. From Arka came Varnyasva, and from Varnyasva came 5 sons, Mugdala, Yavinara, Brihadvisva, Kampila, and Sanjaya. Varnyasva prayed to his sons, "O my sons, please take charge of my 5 states, for you are quite competent to do so." Thus, his 5 sons were known as the Panchalas. From Mugdala came a dynasty of Brahmanas known as Maudgalya. Text 34, translation. Mudgala, the son of Varnyasva, had twin children, one male and the other female. The male child was named Divodasha, and the female child was named Ahalya. From the womb of Ahalya, by the semen of her husband Gautama, came a son named Satananda. Text 35. Translation. The son of Satananda was, now we are going to repeat this verse. Tasya Satyadriti Putro Dhanurveda Visarada Saradvam Statsuto Yasmad Urvasi Darsanat Kila Sarastambe Patat Reto Mitunam Tad Abuch Chubang Tasyasya Tadriti Putro Dhanurveda Visarada Saradvam Statsuto Yasmad Urvasi Darsanat Kila Sarastambe Patad Reto Mitunam Tad Abuchubam Tasya Satyadriti Putro Dhanurveda Visaradaha Saradvam Statsuto Yasmad Urvasi Darsanat Kila Sarastambe Patad Reto Mitunam Tad Abuchubam. Ustedes, por favor. Tasyasya Tadriti Putro Dhanurveda Visarada Saradvam Statsuto Yasmad Urvasi Darsanat Kila Sarastambe Patadreto Mitunam Tadabuchuvam Tasyasya Tadriti Bhuto Dhanurveda Visarada Saradvam Statsuto Yasmad Urvasi Darsanat Kila Mitunam Tadabuchubam Tasya Satyadriti Bhutro Dhanurveda Visarada Saradvam Statsuto Yasmad Urvasi Darsanat Kila Sarastambe Patadreto Mitunam Tadabuchubam. Word by word. Tasya, of him Satananda. Satyadriti. Putra, a son. Dhanurveda Visarada, very expert in the art of archery. Saradwan. Tatsuta, the son of Satyadriti. Yasmat, from whom? Urvasi Darshanat, simply by seeing the celestial Urvasi. Kila, indeed, Sara stumbled on a clump of Sara grass. Apatat, fell, Reta, semen, Mitunam, a male and female. Tat Aput, there were born. Subam, all auspicious. Translation. The son of Satananda, the son of Satananda was Satyadriti, who was expert in archery. And the son of Satyadriti was Saradwan. When Saradwan met Urvasi, he discharged semen, which fell on a clump of Sara grass. From this semen were born two all-auspicious babies, one male and the other female. So, we finished the chapter in the verse 36, so I'm going to read the translation, talking about these children, female and male. While Maharaj Santanu was on a hunting excursion, he saw the male and female children lying in the forest, and out of compassion he took them home. Consequently, the male child was known as Kripa, and the female child was named Kripi. Kripi later became the wife of Dronacharya, that is narrated in the Mahabharata, yes? The names of Kripa and Kripi means mercy, compassion. And this is because Maharaj Santanu felt a lot of compassion on these two children when he found them in this pile, in the forest. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So we finish this chapter of Canto 9, chapter 7, entitled The Dynasty of Bharata. So it's important to emphasize that this chapter, even though was like a description of all the descendants of Bharata, these descendants that were Kshatriyas and Brahmanas were extraordinary, actually, devotees, and also extraordinary Kshatriyas, at such a point that they left to that period of the story of India a very positive influence in terms of social and religiosity. And so then what I did is first to do a summary of this chapter, that most of us, we were like reading only verses with listing of different names of the descendants of Maharaj Bharata. But it has been done like this in the Srimad-bhagavatam because it's important for us to know these great personalities. And then Primarily, the chapter describes the dynasty starting with Maharaj Bharata. And we know and remember that Maharaj Bharata was the son of Dusmanta and Sakuntala. You might remember we listened that chapter, very interesting, when they met and Dusmanta got married with Sakuntala in the Gandharva way. And then from that union, Maharaj Bharata was born. And also we can remember the life of Maharaj Bharata that belongs to this lineage, that he was a great king that that in one point of his life he left the kingdom and left the kingdom to his sons, and he went to the forest to meditate and get shelter completely in God. But okay, he was captivated for a deer, and we know this story. But finally, after getting a bird of a deer, he got again another bird that he could remember even as a deer what the mistake that he has been done. Then he could remember, and at the end of that life, he was completely absorbed in meditation of the Lord. So that the next life he was born as the famous Yada Bharata. That birth gave him the possibility to just get liberated. So that was the greatness of Bharata. And then, in this chapter, we also can remember that the chapter emphasized the life of Rantideva. Okay? Rantideva belongs to this lineage and show us the greatest of a devotee. He was totally pious, and he was like a devotee who suffers with the suffering of the others. He he never accumulates nothing. He just was only worried about the suffering of the people and how he can help them. It says in this chapter, when it was narrated, the life of Rantideva, that he fasted during 48 days. And after this time, someone brought him, and not only him, the family of him as well. And someone came and brought food, some food and water. But at that time came a Sudra, came a Brahmana to request from him some food. Then after came a Sudra, after came a man with dogs, and finally a Chandala, who asked him the last thing that he had, some water. So he asked him the water. Then he was just at the verge, at the limit to die without food and without water. But at the same time he felt very satisfied to be able to help these Brahmanas, Sudras, and these people. But then the demigods revealed him themselves to Rantideva, that they were the ones who appeared them to test his devotion. But as we heard from Prabhu Dharma, actually it was not even that they were testing the devotion of Rantideva. They know already that Rantideva was a great devotee of the Lord. They didn't need to test him. But they did only that to once more see their purity, his purity, and how he's behaving to the people who were approaching him for help. So that was the greatness of Rantideva. And Then after this central account of Rantideva in the chapter 7, again it was explained descendants of this dynasty, but different branches of the descendants. That between these descendants, for example, it was mentioned Hasti. Hasti was the founder of Hastinapura, and various lineages that ultimately, as we saw, ends with Kripa and Kripi. That Kripi became, we read, the wife of Dronacharya. So in general, overall, the chapter teach us how the true greatness lies, that the true greatness lies not only in power or lineage, like not only because there are big dynasties. The true greatness lies actually in devotion, in perfect vision, equality of vision, and as we saw in Rantideva, universal compassion for everyone. So this is what we saw in this chapter. Then what caught my attention also is that how this chapter shows us about the Dharma. Dharma, and if we stop and remember the chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the transcendental knowledge, the fourth chapter, the verse 8, when Krishna descends only to establish Dharma. Yes? But at the same time, in the verse 66 of chapter 18, he's asking from Arjuna that he can leave everything, any religion, any dharma, and just he can surrender to him, and then he can relieve him from all sinful reactions. Okay? So in this chapter, also we saw that the importance to fulfill our duty. We are talking about normal duty, temporal duty, that obliges us to work with responsibility. And this duty can be done also with devotion, can be done with spirituality that can lead us to get the shelter of the Lord. And we could see this in the life of Rantideva, that he was a husband and he had many duties, but he did in such a way that his duties lead him to get the pure devotional service. In that way, we saw in different Kshatriyas even, that they became Brahmanas along this dynasty, just behaving in such a way. And also we can see this example in other devotees. Jai, Sri Radharaj Bihari Ki Jai, Sri Ki Jai. Like for example in the life of Hanumanji. Hanumanji, he really fulfilled his duty with maturity, spiritual maturity, even though he has a lot of abilities. Hanumanji was born with a lot of skills, like very strong. But he was very naughty. So he was using these abilities just to disturb. So he was stopped by the elders, and then they made that the boy forget his skillfulness, his abilities, so that in the proper time he can use it. So it's the same with all of us. We can use our abilities to perform our dharma, our duty, but using them in the proper way with maturity. And when we perform like that, we can reach then to devotional service and execute in the same way. And we see in the Hanumanji when he was he grows, he met Lord Ram, and he was a great devotee of him. And of course, he didn't reveal his prowess, but then when it needed, everybody remembered that Hanuman has the power to become very, very big, and then at that time he used this power to help Lord Ram. Also, the wives of the Brahmanas who were doing a sacrifice. If we remember, Krishna was hungry and he asked the cowboys to go to some Brahmanas that he knew that they were doing a sacrifice nearby, and the cowboys went very fast to ask the Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas said they were very busy. So they went back to Krishna, and then Krishna said, okay, go now to the wives of the Brahmanas, and they will give you some food. They did, and they asked to the wives, and immediately they left everything, all their duties. They were, of course, attending the husbands, but they left everything to attend Krishna. And after, also, they took the chance to take a darshan of Krishna. They didn't want to leave him, and Krishna asked them to go back to their homes. But the Brahmanas didn't get angry with them. Actually, they regret themselves not behave in that way. Also, yesterday we remember Sukadeva Goswami, that Sukadeva Goswami was a child, practically, and he was born just like a pure devotee. And listening the story from his father, from the Srimad-bhagavatam, because he was impersonalist, then he became totally attached to the Lord. And he played the role of the sage that explained to Maharaj Parikshit and answered all his questions during the last 7 days of his life. And then also we have the example of Vritrasura. Yes, Vritrasura, we know the pastime of him. He was Chitraketu in his previous life. And Chitraketu, even though he had hundreds, thousands of wives, he couldn't have a child. And when he got the child passed away, and he was totally, he felt miserable that Narada Muni came, and another sage, do you remember? Narada Muni and someone else came personally to explain Chitraketu that, and even after, the same boy came and explained to Chitraketu that even he doesn't remember who was in which life he was his father. Then Chitraketu was a great devotee. He became a great devotee after this association with great souls. And he was he got a boon, just he can travel all the universe. And in that trip, when he was traveling, he in Kailash, he saw Lord Shiva with Parvati on his lap. And Chitraketu, we talked just one time with Prabhu Dharma, because Chitraketu is not that he was mocking on Lord Shiva. It's like he was astonished how Lord Shiva, being totally renounced, he can keep this mood of renouncing, keeping his wife on his lap. How that he can like yes, stunned by this fact, and then the Parvati took like he was joking and he was mocking on them, and he just he she just cursed Chitraketu that the next life he was going to get a birth as a demon, that is Vitrasura. And then, but he never complained about this curse. He took as a blessing, actually, just to surrender more to the Lord in another way with this type of life. So he didn't feel any pain for that miserable condition. Vitrasura was a very horrible demon, I mean, even physically. And only imagine how was the life of him that he admit that he is getting this demon life, and even that Lord Vishnu was helping completely to Indra in a battle that it has been held between the demon and Indra, the king of the celestial worlds, and just to earn these worlds, they came in this battle. And already Vritrasura knows that Vishnu is giving the favor completely to Indra. But no matter, he stayed very loyal, faithful, and surrendered to the Lord. And he was saying, incredible, that Indra was really in the middle of the battle to win the kingdom, but Vitrasura was completely detached. He didn't mind if he's going to earn or not. So finally, even he explained to Lord Indra how he has to kill him. Otherwise, it has been impossible. So like that, we can see that every living entity doing his own duties, his own ordinary duties, if they do with love, with devotion, using properly the abilities that everyone has, we can reach the pure and transcendental Dharma, just that is completely devotional service to the Lord. So if you have any question, or just if you want to add something to this wonderful story on chapter 7, I really like showing how the devotees and kshatras, and how in those times they were like this, very righteous, very thoughtful people, that they were thinking all the time in the people, with the people, how to help them. So you are most welcome to say something. Okay then. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Oh.
Thank you.